Spanish language media company Hemisphere Media, HMTV, up 50% over the past year, and just this week announces a big purchase of the remaining company, Pantaya, for $124 million from Lionsgate. The CEO joins us here this morning. Alan Sokol is the Chief Executive Officer at Hemisphere Media Group. Alan, thanks for being with us this morning.
Good morning. Nice to be here.
So you've already had partial ownership of Pantaya, and you bought the rest for $124 million from Lionsgate. What does this deal mean to your company, and why did you decide to pull the trigger on the rest of the business now?
Well, this is a deal we've been trying to execute on for a while, and Lionsgate was very reluctant to part with their ownership in the business. But finally, we were able to work a deal, and we're really pleased and appreciative and super excited and thrilled by the opportunity. This really repositions our company. We have a very strong, solid company with a great growth profile, but this will turbocharge our growth and gives us the leading direct-to-consumer product for the Hispanic marketing and entertainment space.
And from what I understand, you paid for it in cash, right? So what is that doing for the balance sheet and the company's fundamentals right now? Obviously, you feel like that was something that you could afford with the cash dynamics of the business to pay up, get it over with, not take on any more debt, et cetera.
Well, we did take on some additional debt. We paid for about half cash, half debt.
Okay.
But we have a very strong balance sheet, the ability to execute on future deals, the ability to fund continued growth on Pantaya. So we're very comfortable where we sit on our balance sheet.
Now, going forward in a very competitive environment, right, the reason I think this is exciting is because right now investors want any piece of media that they can get, content that they can get. Walk my viewers through where right now streaming plays a role in your business and which areas you're targeting for growth in a market where every streamer is trying to get as many eyeballs as possible.
Well, I think the beauty of this business, the beauty of the space we're in, is that we're really swimming in a different lane than the big English language general market streaming services, that the Netflixes and Paramounts and Disney, Amazons, etc. Our programming is targeted at the Spanish-speaking audience in the U.S. There are 60 million Hispanics in the U.S., expected to grow to 75 million by 2030. They're dramatically underserved in the streaming space. Pantaya is by far the leading streaming service focused on the Spanish language space in the U.S. There's really no direct competitors in our space. And we are a pure play for the Spanish language audience in the U.S., which is big, growing, and underserved.
About 1 million paying subscribers Pantaya boasts. What's the pricing dynamics of that streaming service? And do you plan on changing any of the existing either pricing dynamics or content strategy that they have?
It's $6 a month. We have annual plans and we have some promotional plans, but we think it's very well priced at $6 a month, and we frankly think it's underpriced at that price point. Our plan is to really invest in content to grow production, increase the quality and quantity of programming that we have on the service. We have great programming, great groundbreaking series, blockbuster premiere movies, but we can do more and better, and we want to do that, and we believe that's the opportunity to really turbocharge the growth of this business. We think we can get to 2.5 to 3 million subscribers 2025 with a much higher ceiling than that.
How much is that going to cost in terms of advertising or marketing? And maybe just kind of in addition to that, where will most of the costs come from? As you mentioned, you're very comfortable with the balance sheet, the fundamental dynamics of the company. I would imagine there's a little CapEx that's going to be involved here, or is this just going to be a plug and play and you watch the viewers roll in?
No, we expect the business to lose money for a few years until we turn, but again, one of the nice things about this business, one of the great opportunities, is we're not playing in the same programming arms race that the English language guys are. It's not about who can come up with the biggest and best, most highest production value show out there. Our entire programming budget is 2 episodes of The Mandalorian. So we can produce at a much lower price point, a much more cost-effective price point, and we produce a lot of content at that price point. And so it's a very efficient model in terms of the cost dynamics.
Very interesting. So you're saying that you're going to be creating a lot of content, but for less. So one could, in theory, imagine a margin for a business with a similar type of growth trajectory of a streaming service in its early days, but with a potentially higher margin than ones we've seen in other businesses?
Listen, if we wanted to be profitable today, we could. That's how efficient our programming model is. But we don't believe that that's the right move. We believe the move is to actually increase investment in programming and use that to really dramatically grow and turbocharge the subscriber base and give them a service that doesn't exist in the U.S., that they feel is a must-have service, and that they stay with for many years.
Will you have all of the content exclusive to your streaming services, or will any of the flagship shows have crossover for Amazon or Netflix, any of these? Is this all going to be exclusive under the hood of Hemisphere?
Well, because today we're U.S. and Puerto Rico only, we have entered into a number of co-production deals with Amazon, Netflix, Viacom, and other big major media companies where they take Latin America and we take the U.S. And again, that's a way to offset and mitigate the cost of the shows. And we're working with partners that we're not competing with in our region.
Okay. Really like the details here. It sounds like pretty exciting stuff. A new streaming play for us to keep our eyes on. Thanks a lot for joining us, Alan.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Alan Sokol, Chief Executive Officer at Hemisphere Media Group, with a pretty compelling story about how to get exposure to a streaming play with growth ahead and at a lower cost. All right, Hemisphere TV, HMTV.